This is a story about life, about struggle, about success. Not just mine, but yours too. Because whether you see it now or not, we're all trading something every single day. Time, energy, choices. That's life. That's trading. I wasn't always here. I wasn't always the guy you see on your screen. I started out just like most people, uncertain, broke, doubting the system, doubting myself. But one thing kept me going, the belief that life's biggest opportunities aren't given, they're taken. And I took mine. See, trading isn't just about charts, candles, or currencies. It's about discipline, patience, and the courage to bet on yourself. It's about understanding that every loss is a lesson and every win is a stepping stone. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the early mornings, and that voice in your head telling you to keep going when the rest of the world says stop. But let me tell you something. This journey didn't start with success. It started with failure. More failures than I can count. I remember sitting in front of my screen, watching the markets eat me alive, thinking maybe this isn't for me. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about the markets. It was about me. My mindset. My choices. My willingness to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The truth is, trading is a mirror. It shows you who you really are. It forces you to face your fears, your doubts, and your limits. But it also shows you your potential if you're brave enough to see it. I'm here now because I refuse to quit. Because I learned to see every loss as a stepping stone, every setback as a setup for a comeback. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. Success isn't about getting it right all the time. It's about staying in the game long enough to win. This isn't just a stream. This is a movement. A space where we don't just talk about markets. We talk about life, about growth, about becoming the best version of yourself, not just as a trader, but as a person. Because the truth is, the charts don't care about you, but this community does. I do. And together, we're gonna rise. So, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and get ready. This is where traders are made. This is where dreams are built. And this is where your story begins. Let's get it.
What's the deal, gang? What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Today is a tougher morning than yesterday. Today, I feel more pain than yesterday. I felt okay when I woke up, and I stood up, and I'm like, damn, there's a bunch of people waiting, probably in the streams, probably a whole bunch left already. Yeah, yesterday wasn't that bad when I woke up. I was in pain, but I woke up and it wasn't that bad. Today, it is just fucking burning, squeezing. I don't know what it's doing. Where's the Zoom gang? Let me let the Zoom gang in. Maybe they can... Maybe the Zoom gang here can hold it down for 5 minutes. Gotta step outside, yell in a lot of pain. If you're anywhere in South Florida, you're probably gonna hear a really loud ah. What's up, Jay? Where you at? Oh, you're here. You're on Zoom. Price action has been 9 out of 10 today. Might cheer you up a little bit. Yeah, it's just hard to... It's hard to focus on anything when, like, there's shooting pain down my arm. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to do my best to focus. Ow, ow, ow. Damn, I'm so over this fucking pain, man. Oh, this fucking sucks. I'm gonna take some meds here, gang, but if this shit doesn't subside in the next 15-20 minutes, I'll fucking call it a stream. Ow. Usually it takes about 15-20 minutes for the ibuprofen to start working. Damn. No, am I going off? No, I just took some meds. I'm waiting like 15-20 minutes to let it die down. I really wanted to see NYC open on stream here. We'll do our best. Let's mark up some levels. Just bear with me. Give me a sec. I mean, the market's been moving. Look at this. Down, up. I mean, there's volume. I would just love to take advantage of some of the volume that we've had. Yeah, Taiwan Future is doing a promo right now. It's actually a pretty good promo. All right, you get the S2F, which is the straight to funded, and you can copy trade 7 of them. Right? People were like, "Why only 3? Let's do 5, like everyone else." Well, now they let you do 7, but I think it's for a limited time only. I think they're gonna let you do 7 for some time, then go away from that, and then stick to 5. But for now, you're allowed to do 7. Oh my god. Yeah, so go get those accounts, and they're 55% off. I think that's the biggest discount they've done. 55. Oh, actually, no, they've done a bigger one once. They had a 57.5% off, but right now it's 55. Instant funded is simulator. Everything is simulator unless you've deposited your own money into it. Unless you've deposited your own balance, everything is simulator. All right, let's go. Let's get some conversation started. Took my meds. It's all about it. It's just a matter of time for the pain to start rolling back and start subsiding. What's up, Tom? Don, Jay, Spaceman. What's up, Sam? Well, glad to have you guys in here. I welcome the conversation. I welcome the interaction. So, bring it on. You're about to smoke my meds as well? Oh, your meds? No, I smoked, but that's not the meds. That's what keeps me at homeostasis. That's the shit that keeps me level. Right? That's what makes Wix Wix. Yeah. Some weed will wix you up. Yeah. You want to get wixed up? Get wixed. I mean, we have our levels. We're just waiting on closure. Abovesure, belowsure, better closure. Why'd you start using a stop loss? Been a while since I've watched you. Serenity. Are you stream hopping or were you just taking a break? I use a stop so I don't sit in a 600 pip drawdown. And once every few months was worth it. 4 times in a month was not. Yeah, the rules honestly on the S2Fs are pretty good. Pretty good, pretty competitive, and that's why they call it a deal. Because you're getting a hookup only right now for a limited amount of time, and then it's going away, right? It's marketing. The market's been unforgiving since Trump. Yeah, and we're trading a pretty unforgiving pair, right? If you're wrong on gold, it will make you pay. You also need to have 10 trading days for STF. Yeah, majority of people are going to take a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I believe, good morning, by the way. On the S2F, you have to have 10 trading days before you are eligible for the first payout, regardless of if you made more faster. But on the instant funded, you don't have to. You only need a 10-day payout. A 10-day trade after you request and you have made your first payout. So it's between the first and the second. But it's also a little less expensive.
Say that again. What did you just say?
Yeah, I believe if I read it correctly. So on your instant funded, right? You trade. You can make your 6% in 5 days. Doesn't really matter. As long as you don't go over the 20% consistency rule. So basically you're looking at 1,500 a day, basically for 6 days. And then you can request a payout. And then once you've gotten your first payout, then you must have at least 10 trading days to request the second payout if you've gotten your 5%. However, on the
you're probably going to spend another, if it took you 5 or 6 days to get the first one, you're going to take 5 or 6 days for the second one. And then you place a, a micro.
Yeah,
place some
correct.
Micro lot, and that's it.
Correct. On the S2F, you actually must have 10 trading days before you get your first payout. And there's no more consistency rule. It's called the ESS. And it would be the highest amount you made for 1 day added to the lowest amount you made on a day. So let's say you made $1,500 on 1 day and you lost 500 on the other day. You combine both, that's 2,000. You divide that by the total profit you have and multiply it by 100. If that's under 30%, then you have the right to be paid and request the payout. If it's not, then you have to just make more money. It's a little different, but they have the calculation written there. So you must have traded for 10 straight days.
Your best day, what?
Yeah, that's it's an ESS. It's a different way that they calculate a consistency. so that you can be eligible for the payout. And then also on the days that you are trading, let's say you do 10, you do it in 5 trading days, but you trade 10 days, you must have had at least also 0.1% profit for that day. So if you have a 150K account, you have to have made 150 for that day. So even if you trade a macro, be careful. You must have had that as well. It's a little more complicated. It's also less expensive, but you can have up to 7 accounts. So it's worth it when you get the payout because it's massive, right? You can get up to $1,050,000 in funding on a 150K account by having 7 accounts. You can also have 7 S2F accounts, but you can also have up to 3 instant funded accounts at the same time. But you cannot copy trade on the S2F if you are trading the instant and vice versa.
They got to be the same account and same size.
Exactly. But you can have all of those at the same time. So one day you can trade the S2F, and one day you can trade the instant funded if you want, right? And then you can get payouts. Doesn't really matter when, but you can copy trade on your S2F on one day or on one day, and then you can do the same thing on the instant fund on the next day, and then do that, and within 20 days you get massive payouts, right? So that's one way of doing it that can help you out.
People have a hard time being patient and consistent for 20 days.
I mean, it's 10 trading days, so I think you can trade you can trade Bitcoin or crypto or something like that. So if you are able to do that, then you just can trade a micro.
Of people will follow their rules to the T, but in a span of a month, they'll have a lapse, and they tend to destroy their accounts on just a lapse of judgment day. And
say that one more time so I can understand.
You can't have a lapse of judgment basically for the entire month, right? You can't settle for any positions. They've got to be your A+ setups for that month. Yes. Because your losses are included in there. So you have to be very careful and not lose too much. But I'm just saying in general, for most traders, people have a hard. They can be consistent for a few days, a week, have a really good week. But what people tend to do is as soon as they have a little break, like over a weekend, right? The patience wears thin, and it's hard to stay as consistent as you would, if once you get on a roll. So
I agree. It's not easy, but that's why it makes you a better trader to force you to do that. Also, there's a 90-10 split on the S2F, and the rules are going to be the same. They have a daily drawdown and a maximum drawdown. I just bought an account, so I'm looking at it right now, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's just the way that you would trade, you'd have to just be more careful.
They just added new formulas to the equation.
Yeah, correct. The ESS.
The ESS. Watch other companies follow suit.
It's an interesting one. I've never seen that before. They're going to try it out and see how it works.
What is it when you take the highest and the lowest? The median? Or
Yeah, no. So let's say you have your best day is 1,500, and then your worst day that you lost 500. The 1,500 plus the 500, you combine those, and that's 2,000. Then you divide that by the total profit that you've made. So let's say you've made $9,000. So you can go 2,000 divided by 9,000, which is 22 point something. 0.22.
They're forcing you to keep your losses small.
Yeah, multiply that by 100. So if that amount, which in this case would be 22.22, if that amount is under 30%, in this case 22%, then you are eligible for a payout. Of course, respecting all the other rules as well. So you can make as much as you want in a day. That's the difference. There's no consistency rule, 20%. So you can make 3K in one day. And let's say you make your 9,000 at that point, then you would divide 3,000 by 9,000, which is 0.33 times 100, it was 33.33%. You are above the 30% rule, so you cannot be paid. You must have made another 1,000, so that your 3,000 divided by 10,000 is 0.30, which is 30%. And then you can be paid out.
So you can make accounts just because of the math. They're gonna be like, "Fuck this math shit!" Ah.
You can make as much as you want. There's no consistency rule that you cannot make more than 10%.
This might be the first time
20%.
ever where the sine, cosine, and tangent will come into play. Right?
Yeah.
This is the first that you're gonna be over here with a scientific calculator talking about like, damn, I knew I should have studied in 10th grade. Finally, the first time in my life I gotta use some shit from calculus or wherever.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I did
they're
pretty
like, just
well.
sine here, cosine here,
Yeah.
and you have to make above the tangent.
I'll put the link right now in the chat to the S2F overview, so people could just go and read through it if they want to. Just take your time to read it. Make sure that you understand everything, because there's a lot of stuff in there. It's completely brand new. I've never seen anything like it. But it's really quite interesting.
Yes.
And yeah. And it is a 90-10 split. It's not 100 on the first 20K like it would be on the instant funded. So you can actually make more money daily if you want to. So you can raise your lots, but be careful, because if you lose, that also counts within your ESS. So you want to be careful.
You know
about
what?
that.
If I was running a business, like a high risk business, I'm introducing ESS to the payroll structure. Like if I'm running like moving trucks and I got drivers, it's like, how much you make? What was your best salary day? Well, like 3,000. How much was your worst accident? Like 42 grand. What is that? 45. You got to keep that under 30% for your total annual. Oh, you made 100 grand this year and you're at 45. No, I'm gonna need you to bring that ESS down 15 grand. You ain't getting paid, dog.
So what I do like about it is that you can, after 2 payouts, get verified for a live account, which is different than the instant funded, which is 3 payouts. Also, the fact that you can make a lot more money. So if you have everything together combined on 3 instant funded, your max profits that you can make is 15K, whereas in SUF, 70
You're breaking up.
having
Can't hear you.
30% ESS. Sorry if there's more sound.
Sounds like you're crossing the border.
Not this.
Run!
Let me.
Run!
I like that. It's really interesting. I got a couple of accounts just to get a feel for it. I mean, it's the same process as when you're trading, but now I've increased the amount of daily profit to 2,500 instead of 1,500. And I just have to be careful when I have a losing day, and then I'll be able to calculate that. It's a very simple calculation.
Technology, I can't keep up with Jay. Yeah, I think Top One Futures is trying to like silence you or something. This guy's giving out all the rules, all the sauce.
The only thing
Cut his
is
connection.
the payout is still 3,500
There you go.
at most on each. That's the one thing.
Technologia. It's getting better.
Technologia.
Technologia.
So, yeah, I mean, it's still the same payout target, which is 6%, 5%, and 4%.
So you're telling me you still have to know how to trade?
Yeah, that wouldn't change. So you have to have made at least 10 trades on 10 separate days, with at least 7 of those days being profitable. So if you have a day that's negative, you just have to be 70% profitable. So 7 of those days out of 10 have to be profitable. And a profitable day is consistently is defined, as 0.1%, like I mentioned. So if you have a 150K account and then you make your money in 5 days, you have to have at least 2 more days, but you have to have made at least 150 on that. So if you trade a micro, make sure that you have at least 150, otherwise you won't qualify for the payout. So you got to be smart about the position that you take regardless. So you just don't take a trade for half a second and then close it. And remember, the 10-second rule still applies for that trade. So it's interesting. There's a few things that you have to look into it. So just trade normally as you would. And like I said, I moved my daily profit to 2,500 on those instead of 1,500. And then when I hit 10K, then hopefully I don't have any losing days, and then I can calculate the 10K, the 2,500 divided by the 10K, which is 0.25 times 100, which is 25%, and I would be eligible for the payout as long as I have at least 7 out of my 10 days are profitable, and at least 150 in the daily as a minimum, and then I can go from there. The payout is 6%, so it's 9,000 technically. So,
but it's 7 accounts, right?
Yes.
3,500, man.
You can do
It's like
7 accounts,
25
and they
grand.
are, yeah, they are less expensive than the instant standard. But not much, but still. Right now, Take Advantage has got a 55% promo, so it'll be a lot less expensive. I think it was $292.10 or something like that. That was on the 150. Let me go back and put it. So, yeah, so the S2F Thin Pro on 150 is $649. There is, as an instant fund, it's $798. Right now, it has a 55% promo with the code WIPS. And then so instead of $649, you pay $292.05. So $292.05. There's nothing else for you to pay after that. You get the 7 accounts. That's $2,044. So with
Your mic keeps
one
cutting
payout,
out. Keeps fading out.
oh, sorry. So it's $292.05 with the Wix promo code. And then so 7 accounts is $2,044.35. So with one payout on one of your accounts, you make all the money back for all 7 accounts and profit of another 1,500. So it's definitely worth it. The bonus is that on the 7 accounts, 3,500, bro, that's 24, just under 25K in profit on one account that you can do within 10 days. So just follow the trades, be consistent in how you do it. Make sure that you move your stop loss to break even to protect the profits, close half, 3/4, whatever it is. And then within a couple of weeks, you should reach it very simple by following the trades as well and being consistent.
Give me a second, walking back. Coming to a closure. It's gonna be interesting. Close above. Things will get interesting. Yeah, lock in NYC open here in 1 minute. I would like to come up here, but I would like to have a bottom wick first, and I'd also want to have some range on the top wick. I don't want this to come up too far, to drive too far into range. But things can get interesting here. 30 seconds here. You want a top wick on a closure. What a shit show yesterday, yeah. That's an ugly, ugly closure. Jeez. We need to create a top wick here. We need to create... There's a level there too, huh? That's a... yeah. Yeah, I think at this point, we need to create the range. Like, I see this level here, but we've blasted right through it. I believe we will blast right through it on the way up, just like we did on the way down. Look at that. There was no bottom wick here on the way down, and the thing just drove. So we might tap this area right here, 33 to 64. Right? And just do the opposite and come back the other way. But in terms of us actually being able to get a trade in, we... Right, we might see this... but just flipped upside down and coming up. But we cannot trade here, even if we're expecting the volume to blast through that area, right? Even if we're expecting volume to blast through here, there's no top wick indicating no range. So we need one to be created. We just created one. Now that we've created one, I would like for us to get a steep wick to somewhere these areas, right? Previous support, right? Which would require us to come back down, re-break the low, tap this area, come back up, re-break the high for us to drive, right? We'll have a top wick at that point, and we can have buy stops on breaks of highs. This level here is minor. The area you're really looking to fill is where the drive came from, right? You really want to go to there. But we're gonna need orders grabbed now that we formed this top wick, now that we formed the range above. So with volume, as we start filling this wick, we break it, we should drive, especially for NYC open. Yeah, close above the yellow line. Now we have a top wick. Now we need to come down, grab a steeper bottom wick, and we'll have buy stops. Right, if we re-break the lows, we'll head down to our support, and then we'll have buy stops. This is good. This is good. I think we're going to have buy stops here. There we go. Done. Give me one sec, chat. If you see the stop deleted in the signal channel, that's only because I'm changing my lot size. Let's get really interesting here. We might not re-break highs on this candle. Because if we do, right, it's NYC open. If we start re-breaking highs, we should pull up heavy. But if we don't re-break highs here right now, there's a likelihood we form some kind of support here. And then we're able to take this back up to the highs. This will get really interesting. But I think any kind of re-break of the highs with volume that we have right now, NYC just opened, it should be able to push us. I kind of honestly almost wanted to come down here and form a support. It's just a higher probability trade than just the re-break of the high here, right? Nice, nice. This is good. This is good. It makes sense if it comes down again. Not that it makes sense. I mean, we have volume time. It makes sense for it to drive too, right? If it starts driving, that'll make sense. But if we can come down here, not drive back into range, but get a closure above 33.61. And you have a 4-hour coming up here, right? You have a 4-hour in 20 minutes. Look at that, right? So maybe we can hold, close above on the 4-hour as well. It's going to be above the most recent 4-hour, right? So we might get a fake out here too. We might come back down into range, right? If you're looking for the top wick of the next 4-hour. Technically. Right, you can have something like this. and that should take you back up. Yes. And you are looking at that point to trade the fake out and the closure back up above as the bottom wick of the previous of the 4-hour candle, right? So let's see. Ideally, that's what I'd want to happen. That's what I'd want to happen. That would be better than the breaks at the highs here right now. Typically, I probably wouldn't take this break at a high if it's at any other time, but it's NYC open, so with volume, I'd expect this push up. But if we start getting these bearish closures, we'll probably delete. We'll look for support to be made. I think we already have some bearish closures. Five, 15. How's the shoulder? It's in pain. It's worse today than yesterday. How do you decide where you want this rebreak of lower wick to come? Look left. Previous levels. You see, we've kind of, the wicks here have kind of overlapped, right? This wick, that wick, tapped the top of previous resistance, right? This support here. 5 closed bullish, no top wick, but it's the 5. We might need a top wick on the next candle as well. If this closes bearish right now and starts flipping bullish, I'm going to look for it to re-break the low. Unless it gives a really steep bottom wick. You know what I really want to tap here? 33.61, the actual closures. Got 3 minutes here. Really don't like this. 3 minutes here. Is this the time it drives? The thing is, if we close like this on the 15, you expect the next candle to also give you a bottom wick. And there's only 3 minutes left here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Let's wait on the bottom wick right now on this next 15, because I think we will. Well, let's see. Let's see if it activates us now. Oh no, it reflipped bearish. All right, yeah, let's wait on this next 15. What I want is a top wick on the next candle. Let's see if it's coming back. It might be the same entry, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant to delete it. But if we start coming up first, here's the deal. If we start coming up first on the next 15, I'll delete it. We need the rebreak at the highs, but we also need to have a bottom wick. So we'll delete it. We'll wait for the bottom wick and then a rebreak at the highs. Right, because if the 15 activates us, if the next 15 activates us, that's a salary play as well. as long as this 15 closes bearish. Next 15 activates us, that would be a celery play, but you want the bottom wick on the next 15. "90 seconds here." All right, yeah, it's coming up. We're gonna place it right back once we have a bottom wick here on the next candle. Yeah, let me remove it here just in case it activates us, closes with no top wick, and then we come right back down with a minute to go. Just 1 minute here. If it makes a top wick first and it breaks this high, after it makes a bottom wick, the entry will be on the rebreak of the current candle high. If it doesn't break this wick before making a bottom wick, the entry will be on the break of the previous 30, previous 15. What you don't want right now is with 45 seconds to go for this to drive and activate you, close with no top wick right above your activation, then bring it right back down on the next 15. So the same position will most likely be active here in 25 seconds, but we need a bottom wick first on the next candle. And we need we need this to close with a top wick. Right, because if it's going to drive, why would it drive in the last 10 seconds of the candle? It just spent the whole candle creating all this. But if it does it on the next candle, you need a bottom wick. That's fucking ugly. This is what we didn't want. To get activated like this, no top wick, and the next candle drive right back down. That's so ugly. At least, if we at least had a top wick on this opening that was steeper and then pulled back, maybe we can look for a rebreak of the highs. Like, what the fuck is that? There's no range here. I mean, there's range overall, but there's no range in terms of the ways the candle is printed. I'd expect this to pull back from here. And you see the size of this candle versus the size of this candle, right? So you see the smaller candle come in here. I'd expect less bullish volume, but it is 9:45, 9:30, right? Let's come back to this area. Right. Let's get this. Let's wait for this. If we can wait for that, great. It'll be worth the wait when it starts playing out, because you'll have a lot of range to go. And if it fills this range up here, once it comes down, it'll look to do something similar. It might be later on in the session, just like yesterday. We had a trade at around noon after our stream. It might take just as long to set up, but it's only 9:45. We have an hour and a half in terms of stream time, and then let's hope it sets up. Let's hope we get the onion set up. If we don't, and we continue up here, we will look for a new range to be printed in here, so we could take that up, right? Closure above, pull back through this area, closure above here, and then you're looking for this bottom wick take you up. Sorry for my art skills there, but you get the point. God, that's an ugly, ugly closure there. Give me 2 minutes, chat. I gotta walk this off. My arm is killing me. Where's Kenny? Jay, where's your partner in crime, partner in conversation?
I don't have no idea. Hopefully he didn't get injured while he was
Hold on.
riding his bike yesterday.
Kenny's MIA. Bike safety PSA. Yeah. Kenny on a milk carton right now. All the millennials in here are like, what do you mean he's on a milk carton? All the boomers are like, ooh, he's on a milk carton. Kenny in LA right now? The city or the state? Two different things. It was a pretty good deletion. Wherever the National Guards are. Oh, wait, he's in the National Guard? Yeah, but don't they mobilize their local National Guard? Like, people from California? That's crazy. When you're in the National Guard, you be seeing riots on the other side of the country. All of a sudden you get a phone call. Hey, yo, pack your shit. We're heading out to the riots. You will accept bottom wick buys on the next hourly candle. Yeah, as long as the smaller time frames start closing in our direction. So I'll wait for closures in our direction on the smaller time frame, even though it will be a bottom wick on the higher time frame. Right, you're getting a 4-hour closure here in 3 minutes, so we'll be patient here. Maybe 30 celery play to finish out the range to the top, but ideally you want to come down. You want to come down to support. All right, check this out. I think we just got a close. Oh, the 30's got a bottom wick. The 15 doesn't have a bottom wick. This is interesting. I like the fact that there's no bottom wick on the previous candle. We're tapping this support, 38 pip stop, right? Let's get interesting here. I have a buy stop here. A break at a high. Previous 15 doesn't have a bottom wick. This should be good. If we slingshot, it should be good. If we start closing, it's gonna we might have a different entry. I didn't want this steep of a top wick. I wanted it off this area, so we're at like 30, 40 pips, not 60. As long as it doesn't start giving us closures, right? Taking a buy here? Yeah, I mean, I used to take a buy here on the bottom wick as we're tapping this area, right? I would take that buy here too, previous, maybe a little bit lower, maybe right here, 33.57.5. Actually, no, I'd be taking it here. But the problem is, before this range, wait, right? Previously, this range to the break of the lows would be like 150 pips. Right now, it's 450 pips. And I can't take pineapples all throughout that area at 450 pip possible stop. So I just don't take that bottom wick entry anymore. Well, not anymore. I wait for it on the higher time frame to, it's a bottom wick, right? But on the smaller time frame, I'll wait for it to start closing my direction, right? Instead of just as it's pulling back here. Now I understand flips, right? It's going to drive there, but if it doesn't, we can look for an entry somewhere on that bottom wick for support. Mic check. Mic check. You guys hear me?
1 2 1 2.
All right, I hear you. Good.
It's pushing up nicely.
This shit
Might
shuts
activate
up.
us.
Yeah, this might activate us. It's gonna be current candle stop. I mean this. Yeah, I'd want a slingshot here. My mic be doing this shit. It just shuts off on its own. Yeah, we start getting closures below here. On the 15, we will look to delete, and then wait. We might have the same entries. We might have better entries, worse end, but you know, we'll need more candles to print at that point. Right, because you'd expect this 4 hour, right, to have some kind of top wick before it drives. Up or down, right? If it's going to come down, you'd expect the top wick here. If it's going to come up, you'd expect, well, if it's going to come up, it's just going to come up. Price is going to break highs. It's going to come down, it's got to break highs to grab orders to come down. The problem is, for me, in taking these wick entries is the possibility of all this drawdown. So I'd rather wait for it to turn around, whether here, whether down here, but to give us a bullish closure. Breaking the lows. All right. Yeah, that's a 96 pip stop. This has to drive 100 pips up in the next 6 minutes just to activate us. We're over 100 pips up now. Yeah, we can delete these. Delete, 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 delete. No harm, no foul. I love it. What a hard push. Yep, that's exactly what she said. How did you know? I can't lie. Jay made me buy. Okay. All right, dropping bars. I see you. Here comes another pineapple. The pineapple. As if there was only one? No. There are many pineapples. I don't know about pineapples, but I really want a mango right now. About to go outside and take one off the tree. I want a mango. Yo, did you guys ever watch Roger back in the day? And he would just like buy one $200 mango. He did shit live on stream. Be like, this motherfucker, I hate him because I want a mango. Yo, where you get those mangoes from? Gotta be eating like a $14,000 mango. From India. It's mango season everywhere right now. If your area grows mangoes, it's mango season right now. My whole block filled with mangoes, avocados, starfruit, Zoom door, gotcha. K Griff? Ah, shit, the kid. Some mangoes be expensive? Yeah. Those shits are so good. 15 might give us that closure belowsure. Maybe we close back up above like we printed earlier. Drop a like, chat. Drop a like. Sub to the channel. That's the least we asked for. You know what? Share the stream. I never asked for that. Share the stream. You guys want to see some trader fucking sit in pain? This shit funny as hell. Turn it on. People be stopping by here, just dropping by, showing some hate. Dislike. See you later. That's wild. Imagine just typing that out. Oh, people like, hey, showing some love. Hey, just showing some hate. Send the stream in the family group chat. Oh, this is about to get really family friendly. Come on, young ones. Gather around the TV. Gather around the TV. Fuck grandma. Wheel our ass back into the fucking kitchen. You gather around the TV. My grandma taking up all that space. On Saturday, bro, I saw a motorcycle accident. I drove by. They had a blanket over him. That was 10 points. Oh. Yeah, bro, that is so not funny. The boy hit stop loss. That sucks. That shit makes you think, like, yo, my last motorcycle was stolen out of my garage when the same month my daughter was born. Yeah, like, that's, like, when my shit was stolen. You heard me laughed out, like, you said 10 points, but, like, I rode bikes my whole life. Like, I got friends, like, I've seen people go through some crazy shit. I know people that I used to ride with that haven't felt their hands or legs in 20 years, in 15 years. Yeah, so when my bike was stolen, like, I got close friends that were like at my house the day before and are no longer with us, like, and I get a phone call the next day, right? Hey, they died.
Yeah, happened to me too as well.
Like,
I ride as well, but yeah, it's scary.
Dude, like, the kid was at my house the day before, and then they decided to go out to Miami, and next morning I get a phone. I knew when the phone call came because I knew who it was coming from. I was like I knew it before I even picked up. So it's like it's crazy. It's crazy. When my shit was stolen, I just never. I never went to like buy another one. I rode like friends' bikes, but I never went to buy another one. I was so over it.
It's perspective. You're like, hold up, I got a family now, and anything can happen. I mean, this is why I'm so scared of electric motorcycles. They make no sound. If people can't hear you, that's why the bikes are so loud.
And that's why the bikes, you see them all get like aftermarket pipes and everything. You want everyone on the road to hear you. It's not like, oh, cool, you got a pipe. Like, no, it was usually for safety. It was like, I got a
Yeah.
loud ass exhaust because I want to go faster. Yeah, if I had like a full exhaust and a whole setup, but like a power commander really push you. But if you had a power commander on a 750, you'd go faster than the thousands, right? So with your setup, but you'd get a pipe because when you're in traffic or you're cutting through traffic, you want everyone to hear you. You want to bah, 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 you know what I mean? You want to make noise so people either move out the way or just don't go into you.
You also got to be smart about it and not drive crazy. Somebody was asking, how did they start your bike if they stole it? Well, it's pretty easy, man. It's like a house lock.
I mean,
they could just grab the bike, put it on a tow truck.
You know, so actually, I'm not gonna teach you guys the recipe for disaster here. We'll avoid this conversation. But it's not. It's very easy. It's very easy to steal a bike.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll find something on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Oh man, I never got a speed bike because of that. Because my friends died. I was road cruisers. It was just simpler, and they forced me to not drive too fast. And they all have massive sounds, so you know it helps a lot. A lot of times people don't look in their rearview mirror or in the side mirrors, especially women. And old people, they tend to not have an idea as to how large the car is, and they think that they can cut you off or not even look at you. And then, so I'm often using my foot to push the car off or bang it, and then they get, and frustrated and pissed off, and they yell at you. And you're like, bro, you idiot! You're in my lane, about to hit me. How are you angry? You came in so fast, bro.
New York, people like the riders are dumb. People are dumb too. Like it's wild. Like if you cut off a biker, like typically in New York, people don't ride by themselves, right? It's typically a whole pack. So you're asking for it. But then again, motherfucker, you on a bike and I'm in a fucking 5-ton vehicle. Like why are you messing with me? So it's different depending on what side. Do you ever see that shit that happened in New York where the guy on he was on a BMW or something. It was a nice car with a whole family, and he cut off a biker, and they cut him off. They dragged him out the car with his whole family.
No, but that sounds awesome.
They beat him up, and then they found out that among the riders there were cops. There were a lot of cops, and it was some of the cops that were jumping this guy, but they weren't in uniform. They were on their weekend or on their break, whatever. So they're bikers then, right?
Good luck getting out of that.
Yes, this was they got video of the whole shit from many angles. Like so many people got locked up. I think somebody got hurt too. He was in the car with his
just dropped 70 pips.
Kids.
The hell happened? Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful. Bikers,
New York's wild.
Even if we don't know each other,
you'll lose a side mirror real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Out. You lose a side mirror real quick.
Oh man, yeah, no, bikers. I mean, even if we don't know each other, when you ride and you're on a normal road,
the intersection.
There's a thing we do. Yeah, there's a thing you do to wave at the other rider. There's a thing that's done that people don't do when they're in cars. And bikers don't, that people that are not bikers don't know that. So you're going to help each other out. That's just how it is. And if you go after a biker, raw. Good luck. Make sure you got a piece with you, because you're done for.
Sue the department for 7 figs, pay out hitting different. Yeah. I do this shit.
They won't pay.
That's a hobby of mine. I just, I litigate on the weekends, bro. I just some people some people go fishing. I do litigation. just fucking take someone to court. You guys want to go bike ride? Nah, I got a case this weekend. Gonna litigate. Yeah, you go fishing.
Hey, Wix, Perdone is asking, what's the advantage of trading futures versus spot?
The
since you've
biggest
done
advantage
both.
that I believe
Yeah.
is you get to be on a regulated platform with a centralized price, which means broker has no control over price. Like what you see here is the same price on the MT5, it's the same price on any other broker, it's the same price like on all futures broker, because the feed doesn't come from the broker where they can manipulate it, you know, to their, let's have a different spread, let's have a different commission, like, you know, they can't manipulate that because it comes from a centralized feed. It comes directly from the COMEX feed, the mercantile exchange. That's you know, the centralized price plus regulation. That's the best advantage. But I also believe it's a lot more user friendly in terms of how the mechanism works in combining positions. What's a COMEX feed? COMEX. COMEX stands for the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. That's where the feed comes from. Lost the sense anyway. I'm just not sure what a common feed is. Don't talk to me about a sense of humor. I make a joke of everything. It could be the best shit. It could be the worst shit. I make light of it, regardless. Comic gold to 5,000. I don't know if Trump can do that. I think maybe if the midterms, if the Dems win the midterms, we might see this push up.
If Dems win the midterms, massive scam, bro. Especially with LA on fire, California's doomed. I don't understand how they'll keep voting for morons like Newsome and
they haven't had.
mayor.
I don't think they had a Republican mayor since like the 60s. Or the 50s. It's been like Dems for 60 years, and look where it's gone.
I agree, they're all woke, but there is a chance. I mean, they did have the governor. It's still possible. They just have to be able to get rid of all the woke. They have to get rid of all the woke morons, and then maybe they'll realize what the logic of everything is. How is the guy who makes $250,000 a year or $300,000 a year able to buy and afford himself a $9 million house, bro?
Well, if you're talking about the governor,
yeah,
I mean, like he did star in a few mildly successful movies.
Yes, I think maybe people recognize him from a few things of that nature.
There are a lot of ICE raid protests in Florida. I don't know. I haven't seen, man. I don't know about ICE because they're not looking for me, but
American Express got a hitman looking for me.
You know what I mean? American Express got 2 hitmen looking for me. No, it's not that I see it. Maybe it's prevalent. You see it on the news. You see ICE raids taking place, but I haven't personally like been driving around and, you know, bumped into a raid. No.
Yeah, no, ICE is doing well. They're actually going to court, waiting for all the illegals to finish court. Then the illegals are running away or hiding in the bathroom, and ICE is just waiting there. They're like, all right, whatever the hell you come out, we'll get you. If not, we're coming in. Oh, there's Kenny. You in Bel Air. All right.
Huh. You got it. Let me give you a wrench roll so people know you control.
Say hi to the Fresh Prince, Kenny.
Ice with the guerrilla tactics. Taco truck was wild. Oh, that's what they have in Vegas? I seen them pull up to a construction site and the shit emptied out. Did you guys see that video online? Ice pulled up with like 3 minivans and it was like a few thousand people that all ran. No, it wasn't like 70. It was like 1,000. Well, it looked like 1,000. A few hundred maybe. Because it was just a never-ending flow. They just started running. Ice agents were like, man, like, who do I trip? Yeah, that building ain't getting built. Yeah, that construction company just went out of business. How you lose 100% of your workforce? Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful. Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Till a couple of ICE agents was up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little raid and my mom got scared. Fuck, just up the home. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the exact same thing over the last 2 weeks, bro. Nate, I was like, yo, why don't they just go to the Home Depot and round up 20 or 30 and then hit up every Home Depot? Right? That's the most logical place. Yeah, if I was ICE, I'd be camping out at the front entrance. Matter of fact, I'd go to the front entrance looking for a job too. Start talking to them, make friends, get all their numbers. I wouldn't even pull up like that. Matter of fact, what numbers? None of them have cell phones. Even if I wasn't an ICE agent, that's just some. Nah, it'd be fucked up. It'd be fucked up. Imagine just walk over there, just sit down next to them, just. Psh. All right, they're all here. Pull up, pull up. Just start seeing motherfuckers run from Home Depot. No one even coming. Just sit there like, yo, I got him. Pull up. Start describing him and shit. He's wearing blue jeans, Tim's, and he's eating a taco. Yeah, I know. This pretty ugly right now. Close the support here, right at this little support. Probably want to see it drive down to the overall 33.49, maybe a bounce back up to close above 33.54. Right, so if we could see, right, since we do have a level here, be interesting if we can see something like this after tapping that area down here, right? Then start looking for a drive on a break of that high. But this, if we are able to tap this area and then close back up here, that's what we're gonna look for. I think that's the next possible setup we might have. What was it? He's about to be 15. He's 14 and a half, yeah. No, put shoes on and take him for a walk. The 1 hour. No, this shit's got room to come down here on the 15. Want a bullish closure first. We can flip bullish here and drive up immediately and fill the range up. Or we can flip bullish and come back down and break the low and then tap 33.49 and then re-break the high again for an entry. So, right, you might miss it. There might be more weight involved, but the most ideal situation would be a closure in your direction here at support. Any, yo, chill, bro. It's a float. Come on. Penny. Hey. Come on. Stop being stupid. Let's go. I'm closing the door. Oh, now you go, right? Is that a new mod? New mod, old friend. Potato, potato. Double backflip this guy. My buy stop aged well. Man. I think we should be able to retest the highs. There's a lot of range to come down in terms of finding support. That's why we wait for a bullish closure. That's why we wait for a closure in our direction. Remember we said this might be a bottom wick entry, but we need the smaller time frames to print in our direction. Remember the overall level is here also at 33.49. So maybe not a closure at that level, but if we tap that level and come back up and close above the most recent while bouncing off the overall, right, and closing bullish, it just makes our job on the following candle, our decision on the following candle, much easier, right? At that point, the decision has been made, and it's just up to you to execute and let it either work out or not. Let the probabilities play out. Damn, bro. This guy's farts should be classified as like biochemical weapons. I don't know, bro. Go outside. Fuck, man. We retest the highs, it's going to the moon. Farzo been off the meds. Somebody stole his wheelchair and his perks. Yo, I don't know why those emotes are so funny to me. It's exactly what I picture Farzo looking like. And his straight jacket. No, Farzo's been cool. He hasn't called me at like 4 in the morning in months. Green has my jacket for 4 years. I need that straight jacket right now. My arm is killing me. Let's see, 3 minutes on this 15. Let's see what the 15 does. 15 closes bearish like it is right now. It's got no top wick. I'd expect the next 15 break its high and still come down tap this area. Your weed ain't strong enough? Amen. Say that again. No weed's strong enough to get rid of this pain. I need some hash or something. I gotta run through a fucking marijuana field naked. Just... Hash brown potatoes. No, like hashish. If you're conscious, it ain't weed. Stop making me laugh. This shit hurts. Ow. Oh, man. Stream demonetized. What else is new?
Hey, chat, take advantage. I mean, we got what, 243 watching? We only got 79 likes. Can you guys drop a like and sub to the channel? Let's try to get to at least 100. That's the goal each stream. Hopefully, that would be appreciated. And remember that you don't have to take every position that's out there. Only wait for the best positions that make sense, and that's how you'll stay profitable over time. Take advantage also, top1futures.com. 55% promo right now, and take advantage of the new account that they have. That's a promo ending June 20th called the S2F Sim Pro account. It's pretty interesting. I've bought a couple, so I'm going to take advantage of those. Go for it, guys. Drop a like. Thank you.
This guy, shameless health insurance plug. Yeah, hit up if you need health insurance, like that covers every treatment and surgery and everything. You gotta hit up Eugene Talk. That's your shameless plug of the day. Jonathan, what's the dealio? Drinking Don Julio, act a foolio. Be careful. I know we're at a 15 level, but we want a bullish closure. We don't want to create a top wick on a flip and then push right back down. Because look at this hourly. Like we broke all these hourly. We broke the low here. I'd expect some kind of pull back up to grab orders if we are to come down. So there should be some room to come up to grab those orders. So at least 33.58 areas, right? If we come up and close above, right? But there might just be enough bearish volume. Look at this. No top wick. We're just pushing heavy down. We just broke the previous 4-hour low too. The disrespect here. 170 pips. That's why I don't take that bottom wick entry anymore. We could keep going. We haven't really seen much in terms of pullbacks. If this was the entire range, maybe, but this is just... But be patient. Don't get ahead of yourself. Even if you lose some of the range on the fact that it comes up, the probability of your trade working out should be much better. It's all right. It's 10:47, right? I mean, we'll stay here a little bit longer, but if we don't get a trade, if it doesn't set up fairly soon, we'll definitely have this in the signal channel. I mean, it should at some point set up today. It's 12 minutes in this 15, 12 minutes in this 30, 12 minutes in this 1 hour candle. The next 1 hour is probably going to need a top wick before it comes down, right? You don't expect it to just plummet down. You'd expect the top wick. So if you close above here, right, on the 15 and the 30, which it would be a 15 fake out, it would be a 30 respective support closing bullish. It would be 1 hour closing at support. Next 1 hour needs a top wick. Every time frame is aligning to tell you the same story, but in different ways, right? Different chapters. 30 is going to close bullish above here. Next candle should come up. 15 closes bullish above here. That's a fake out. It should come up. The hourly closes bearish, but at support, it's going to need a top wick, aka it should come up, right? In different ways, they're all going to tell you the same story. So we're going to look to be part of that drive up, whether it be the drive or just a top wick on the hourly to come back down. You can draw it out if you want, right? If this is the 15, then this is your 30 candle. Respecting. Right? And if that's the 30 candle, then this is the hourly candle. Right, so on the 15, you would expect, since we faked out, right, if it does fake out, if it does close above there, you're expecting this. On the 30, you've closed back in range, you're expecting this. On the hourly, you're expecting this, right, before this. So you're still expecting a drive up here in every situation. And that's what we want to take advantage of. But you need a bullish closure. Doesn't look like it's gonna give it to us. Well, let's see. Let's see. It did what we want, but it did it off this level to what? To now close above here? Bullish? Maybe. Maybe bounces off that level and comes up and still closes bullish above 33.54. Should make our life easy. Let me see what kind of stops that would bring. That wouldn't be too bad. 80, 90 pip stops. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we still gotta wait for this to close. So at least 8 minutes, we should be waiting. Okay, that's fine. All right. 15 reflipped. Still kind of a doji candle. But maybe the break of the highs. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me close the door. Wasn't expecting it to come down this far, but it's sweet. Gold likes to give hard jabs now until it shows. I showed who's that. Now the 15 has reflipped bearish after flipping bullish. Look what the level. See where this top wick hit? You want to be above this as well. You see that top wick? Tap that area. That's a possible rejection area to bring the market back down for a closure below here. But you also want to be above the overall here. Shh. Don't yell. Don't get him too excited right now. Hey. Stop biting. I know you love him. Can you stop biting the dog?
I'm not biting him.
They got it backwards here. Yo, shh, chill. What are you doing? Hey. No. 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 Biting the dog is wild. Where? How you feel? See how you feel. Oh my God. This thing does not want to cooperate. Like, it's a 50-50 here. Like, we can respect it. We can disrespect this level and break down. We can break up here. Really had a strong confirmation in our direction. I would love to retest the highs here, but there's a lot of range to come down as well, and we need some strong confirmation and closures in our direction. We might still get it. It might still come up here and close back above here, and then we'll look for it. But right now, it's 2 minutes left for this hourly to close. The first 1 hour candle of this 4 hour has broken the previous 4 hour. The daily's flipping. The daily might flip back bearish here. And then what? Then you have a celery play on the daily if you come down here. A bearish closure on the daily technically can bring you down heavy, right? You have this whole wick to fill here. That's 32.69. If you get a daily closure, the below that range. I don't know if it happens today, if it happens at all, if it happens by the end of the week. But if you get something here on the daily, right, you are looking to fill this wick. Maybe not in 2 daily candles, maybe in 3, 4, maybe 5, but like at some point this wick should be filled. I do believe we need to come up and grab some orders. Like we need that, you know, we need the shampoo to play out here. Right, the shampoo play right here. Need some head and shoulders. Right, or here shoulders. For the visuals, for those of you who understand what head and shoulders means, right? But overall, you need to drive down off of resistance, so the market would need to come up, grab orders, or respect the level as resistance. Right now we're closing below here. Maybe that will be it, right? Maybe it does this. It's a really nasty close. Gee, because, you know, little magic, I could use some of that. Alright, yeah. Phones, headphones. How's our levels? There's a funky range in here. Like, this entire chop here, honestly, is chalked. This chop is ugly. It makes the rest of this range kind of choppy. See how clean it is right below there? Like, this is super clean. This is super clean. At some point, this will be super clean, but you're going to need to get out of this range and close back in it. That would show us that this was a drive-through, and then the next time, this should be a drive-through. But if we just stay in here, bounce around, it's going to make things difficult. All right, it's 11:02. Oh, we've been here for the whole session. It hasn't really set up. Yeah, waiting on that pullback the entire session. I think we're gonna be here. I'm gonna watch this 15 play out. If there's any potential, we'll stay. If not, we'll call it. And then I'm gonna be here through the 15-minute candle. We'll call it and we'll take it to the signal channel.
I wonder if this is setting up for possible buys tomorrow for CPI. Should be a week that moves tomorrow,
There's
Thursday,
nothing
and
today.
Friday. No.
There's nothing.
Well, I mean,
Trump speaks up.
China-
That's it. And
yeah,
this is
China
not an orange
apparently
folder.
made a
This is a
deal.
red folder. This is just orange because Trump's orange. I don't know why they make this orange. Trump speaking should be a double red folder. It should fucking be 3 red folders here. They got the orange folder for the orange man. These guys fucking suck.
Yeah.
Due to speak 250th anniversary of the United States Army in Fort Bragg. Oh, he's gonna talk some shit. He's gonna talk some shit.
I'm sure he's going to talk about LA. 100%.
We got the biggest guns. I love guns. They need guns in LA. We're bringing it.
There are riots everywhere, man, outside of the ICE detention centers. They're absolutely morons. And they keep saying, what have they done illegal? What have they done? You mean other than enter the country illegally, break the laws? That is a crime. You can't just go in without visas. That is an actual crime. I don't understand these people.
I told their governor, what a piece of work that guy is. Ooh.
You're right, Mr. Trump. You're absolutely right.
Kevin Newsom. Kevin Newsom.
Yeah.
Like, that's not his name.
Yeah, he should be Kevin Nuisance instead of Newsom.
This guy.
Oh, come on, gang. We're 4 likes away from 100. We're at 96.
Nice.
So close, so close.
You give us the likes, we'll give you the wall. We'll build the wall around California. And China, they could build the wall. I like China. They built my ties. Okay. Oh, fucking Trump, man. You know, a wall around California is not that bad of an idea.
True. I was just thinking that.
You know
Well,
what? Fuck it.
New
Let's
York.
build a dome. Forget the wall. Let's build a dome around California. Let's just cover them up. Yep. No, we just nothing to see here. We made a mistake here. Delete. Cover the bitch up.
I second the motion. Whoever's in California, sorry, people. Good luck getting out. Oh, man. How many people left California? Like 5 million in the last year? Or a couple of years?
California is like that girl in 3rd grade that got cooties. Everyone's just like running away. Nah.
Oh, man. Yeah, prices don't make sense there. They're just
Smell
absolutely
like curry and
ridiculously
avocados.
insane.
I ain't going there. She got cooties. They all came to Texas? Nah, some of those assholes came over here to Florida. And we're full. I don't know how they get in.
Yeah, well, yeah, Florida's overwhelmed, man. Full. I think there are a couple of counties that are blue, that are woke in Florida.
What was that?
And I think there are a couple of counties in Florida that are blue, that are woke, that make absolutely no sense.
Dade County.
And you're just like, wait, really? Bro, Florida's no longer English speaking. It's all Spanish everywhere, bro. I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Yo, I went to an anime con with my kids, and I walked up and to the front counter, right? Show my tickets and all that. And she was like, oh, sorry, no speak English. It's like, hold
Wait,
on.
what?
Wait a minute. Like,
Stay right here.
stay right here. Hold on. These ICE agents about to pull up real quick. I'm like, this ICE? Hello? Look, man.
Man.
She said no speaking English. My daughter was like, well, how is she employed here? Like, this is the front desk. This is where everyone's speaking English. There's nothing wrong with not speaking English, but there's something wrong with not trying. Number one. Number two, there's something wrong with like, when I call customer service, I don't expect no speaking English. You better learn Spanish, bro. No. It's front desk.
You work. You need to speak English if you're customer service, bro. But it doesn't make sense, bro.
There's a
We're one
lot of
like away
Spanish.
from
It was
100.
like 90% Spanish, but that doesn't matter. It was an American event. Like, it's an American company.
They should be able to at least speak English.
No, trust me. I got the ICE call on the list before Google Translate. I use Google Translate when I gotta tell them that ICE is coming.
Or call Eddie. He'll translate and shame them. The Cuban.
Let's do it. I got this right now.
If you choose not to learn, you're a communist. Facts, bro. If you go into a country and you don't try to learn the language, bro, you're doing something wrong, man. You're trying to destroy the culture.
Trying to destroy the culture.
Yep. Bro, you have to assimilate. You can't go into a country and try to take over and assimilate. Then it's just an invasion. That's what they're doing everywhere, bro. It doesn't make sense. That's why most countries in the world, or all the countries in the world, if you try to get their citizenship, you have to speak their language. You have
There was a
to
period
at basic
after
level.
World War II, I think, where the U.S. stopped accepting immigrants, period. They had like a 20-year moratorium just because there was so many immigrants coming in. And if they're just next generation keeps coming, next generation, there's no assimilation happening because you keep bringing, the old traditions to keep coming over. So there was a big period where, a lot of nationalism rose in terms of popularity because they stopped immigration, and kids here didn't have the new, or the older people that have been here for a little while didn't have that new flow of influence coming in. And they had to become more American, and assimilation was just a natural thing. They had to, get with the current culture because there was no influence coming in. So there needs to be in order for people to assimilate, there needs to be a dead stop on immigration, and let a generation of kids that are still having that massive influence from back there to grow up fully American. And then you can restart immigration. They did that for 20 years, and American pride American nationalism became a very big thing.
This is usually also why the U.S., if you're the last passport to get, if you have previous passports and you get the U.S. passport, you're not allowed to get others, or you could use the U.S. one. They want to make sure that you are loyal to the country that you're a citizen of. But most people, even if they get the citizenship, they are not loyal to the states. They are loyal to their original country. And you ask yourself the question, then why the hell are you here? Why did you run away from there if you're so proud of that country? Right? You see all the flags there from Mexico and other countries. None of them are from the states. And you keep asking yourself the question, then why are you here wanting to stay here? But raising the flag of the country that you're running away from. Bro, make it make sense.
Yeah, that shit in
So
California. I was
to
just
assimilate.
talking about that yesterday with my girl. Like, yo, look at this. They're waving Mexican and El Salvadorian flags. Meanwhile, burning U.S. flags. But they want to be in the U.S. and they don't want to go to Mexico or don't want to go back to El Salvador. The flag that they're waving. Like, this shit is, like, you don't even make sense if we had an intelligent conversation. If we didn't even, argue and there was no protest, if we just sat down and spoke, you would not make sense. I'd be pissed off trying to explain this shit. I'd flip out. I'd be like, fuck that, man. La migra está aquí!
Bro, you might as well speak to a wall. It'll be the same thing. Nothing's going to change unless you change the politicians that are out there, bro. I mean, if they are just creating laws or amendments to laws or whatever it is, just to help out the minority, nothing's going to change. It's not going to work anymore. All they do is want to get into politics, because then they can make a fortune from that if they get to the Congress or Senate. And then with a 200K salary, they could be worth 200 million, like Pelosi. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's all about, power and taking over. So much has to change. And unfortunately, it's going to take way too long for that to occur, if it ever happens. That's unfortunately the big issue. And obviously, censorship is the number one thing. First Amendment doesn't exist, man. Even when Trump said, yeah, we have to bring it back, bro, he is censoring everybody on anything that comes up with Israel, right? You're not allowed to say anything. Otherwise, you're anti-Semitic, or they can arrest you. You can't have your own opinion on anything on that part. I'm like, wait, what? So, but you want the First Amendment to be real. You want the Second Amendment to be real. You want all these things to still happen. It's hard for people to believe all that. He didn't want to make the debt higher, and now he only will make the debt higher to eliminate income tax. There are things that don't make sense. So obviously that's why he had the feud with Musk that just happened.
But he didn't
screwed us last week.
Here's the thing: Trump didn't run on balancing the books. He didn't run on that. That wasn't on that wasn't his platform. His platform was immigration, building a wall, tariffs, making America wealthy again, right? Making America great again. It wasn't
no tax on
balancing,
tips
and I'm going to balance the budget. That wasn't what he ran on. That was something that is a byproduct of doing all those things. Eventually, the budget should get balanced. Yeah, you'll take on some debt, but every president has taken on massive debt, and their debt only grew from the previous president to the next president, right? And none of it was, for the benefit of the country. It wasn't like the country got great. People were rich, like. So he's doing what he ran on, while he also has a lot of people pulling at him on, from different angles. Like Musk wants subsidies. He wants to balance the budget, right? But that's just one angle. Like, he's got people pulling on him from the other angle. We got the Ukraine and the Russia war. Then we got the Israel and Palestine, right? We got that conflict going on. You have China. Like, so he's got a lot of angles, but Elon is just one avenue that's pulling at him, right? Tugging at him. But he's got to take Elon's word and everything else that's also happening in the country, outside the country, and put that into consideration when putting together, the policies. So, that spat happened just because Trump didn't do what Elon wanted. He did what he ran on. And, that's his base. He can't lose his base. He's got to appease his base.
Yeah, but he did tweet at some point, or send on his platform, whatever it is, that he was not going to raise the debt ceiling. And now he's doing the opposite.
He also, but he's not doing it at the expense of the country. He's doing it for the country, and eventually that leads to balancing the budget. Just like tariffs eventually raise prices, but eventually lead to higher quality product and a better industry, and then in turn eventually lower prices as the other countries start.
If the next president doesn't follow the same structure, they're gonna change everything again.
Yeah. That's why this has to succeed. That's why we have to win the midterms, and that's why he built this team around him that is not gonna push back to him like Pence did, right? But he's got a lot of mini Trumps. This is what Obama did. Obama didn't need to make a phone call to the FBI or to the Treasury Department to get shit done, right? Obama had a bunch of mini Obamas everywhere that knew what has to get done, and everybody was just working unison without there didn't need to be a phone call. Let's really go after the conservatives in the IRS. He didn't need to call the IRS. Remember when they targeted all conservative organizations? He didn't need to make that phone call. That's why you'll never see him incriminate himself, because there was a lot of mini Obamas already in place, knowing what the agenda is and what they have to do. Same thing with Trump. Everybody knows what they need done. What needs to be done, and they're all just doing it. right?
You know, the
Doesn't need to be a
tariffs,
separate phone
when
call. Everyone's on the same page. So I think if it works, it succeeds, we win the midterms, you'll see the next term or Republican president.
it should push into that direction if it works, because now that the tariffs are in place and bringing in money, and he's going to keep doing that, no president is going to get rid of those tariffs because it brings in too much money for the country. So they're going to keep
Eventually,
using them, but they're going to. He had the tariffs back in 2016, and Biden didn't remove them. A lot of them, he kept them up because it's just bringing too much money. He can't do that. And then, so what he does is that takes a lot of that money and then put it into the illegal stuff and then funding all, you know, the stream is going to get shut down for sure. It's gonna, they were sending the money to APAC, sending the money to APAC, sending money to all of the things that were being funded to, I'm trying to find the words to use to not get the stream blocked, but you know, for those transformers and LGBT stuff and everything that's out there. So that's just what it is. And now that Musk with Doge stopped all that and has put a freeze on everything, obviously it's lessened the spending, and it's going to bring more of the money back and reduce the amount of people that are working for nothing. But if you increase the debt, how's that helping? You're removing it from one end and then increasing on the other end.
Because
it's going to take too long for that to happen.
He's bringing in a lot of so a lot of money is going to be made on the other end.
Yes, if the companies do stay in the States, and then obviously take advantage of that.
And read on the people that are working on these policies for him. He's not sitting there making up these policies. He's got advisors in no specific fields. He just makes the final decision, right? And I mean, those guys know what the hell they're doing.
I mean, usually there's no one better to lead.
I mean, not putting tariffs, not increasing tariffs on Rolls-Royce. That was brilliant.
I mean,
keeping Rolls-Royce at 10%.
He probably has one and doesn't want to pay more. Actually, you know, the people that actually end up paying the tariffs are the companies that receive the products at customs, right? They're the ones who have to pay the tariffs, and then they end up charging the people more in the end. So that's actually how it ends up happening.
Yeah, but then less people buy your product, so you're losing business.
Correct.
So then you're like,
correct.
Let's build our shit in the U.S.
Yeah, but don't forget one thing, right? Tariffs. The states used to have them back in the day, and then they kind of stopped near World War I, because they were trying to help the other countries make money, since those countries had massive debt. So
everyone was in ruin, and the U.S. was prospering.
Correct. So the state said, okay, we're going to help you out. You can charge us tariffs on your products and we won't on yours, or very little. So that'll help your country make money, since we consume so much. Over time, they just started taking advantage of it. And when the EU was created in order to destroy the states, basically, they became a powerful opponent to them. So when the tariffs went up, they're like, hey, you're attacking us. And Trump is saying, no. You've been taking advantage of us for decades. How come we are spending more than the top 8 countries worldwide? It's not business as usual.
That shouldn't have been the policy for 100 years or for 70 years. That should have been just, you know, we help you out, get back on your feet.
It has to be fair. And it just wasn't. So how are the states that consume more than the top 8 countries in the world combined, you know, not making any money? How are they charged so much? So now China apparently worked out a deal with Trump, which is why I think New York session went bearish today, even though London was bullish. I think that's when they started talking after that. So that explains why it must have been so bearish, but it has to make sense. You can't let other people charge. I mean, Canada, morons, they're charging 250% on electricity to the States. What? Bro, and Trump was trying to charge 10% or something. And you're like, wait, hold on. They're going nuts. Absolutely insane. And he's charging only 50% of what other countries are charging most of the time. That's what he's trying to get. And they're going nuts.
I'm just going to eat honey. Fuck maple syrup.
I don't think Boo's just going to be happy about that.
closure coming up here. London closed. It's a
Yeah.
little quiet. Here's the deal. If we get closures below this area here, right? If we're able to break down here, I obviously, right? If we do something like this, I want some kind of range created. I don't have any kind of stops here outside this area, right? So, so we're 100 pips up. We want some kind of range to be created here. Ideally, a support, right? That doesn't close back in range. If we get this, right? Something like this, we will look for a re-break out of lows here to finish out the range. All right, we get this entry at this green line, break of the lows, just to finish the range. Sorry, this is what it would look like. And if we do come back up in range, I need clear closures and support to be created and probably close back up above here, right? As we stay below this area, we can still tap it, right? We can have the market literally pull back up here and then see that drop, right? So you kind of want a range 2 breakout here for buys, right? This is range 1, this is range 2, and you'd want an actual closure above here to indicate that you're going to drive up, right, and fill the next range. If you don't get that closure above and you stay below, and this is what it does, you'll see a fake out to close back below the range, and then ideally below here. But if not, if it closes below this area, it's fine too. A lot will depend on the top wick that we grab, right? Top wick, break of the lows, looking for that ride down. But we need this range to be created to have a stop. If we're looking for sells. If we're looking for buys, you need those closures. Range 1, range 2 breakout. So if this is range 2 right here, then we need to close above there. And that would be a range 2 breakout. You are less likely at this point to fake out and fake back down. At this point, you would be likelier to continue up. Right, as we're coming up on this 30 closure, there's gonna, no matter how it closes, there will be more waiting. I'll need another candle, another 15 at the very least. Okay, let's call it here. Stay locked. If you're in the signal channel, stay locked in. I'm gonna be on the charts for the next half hour, looking for these positions. If you're not in the signal channel, join us. Zoom gang, I'll see you guys in the clubhouse. Mods, thank you for helping me run the stream again. And signal channel, stay locked in. Chat, love and wisdom to you all. I'm gonna run. We'll take the show to the signal channel. It's been a draggy session, but no pullback, so there wasn't much to take advantage of here. Nothing was A+, but we will wait on it. We'll stay patient. And remember what I said yesterday. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent, right? Stay with it, and you eventually will see profitability. All right. So let's call it here. My time here is up. And just like that, another New York session is in the books. Stay patient. Wait for your setup. And you'll be that much better off. I'm out. Later.